The special edition Packtalk Black, or Communication Unleashed as Cardo likes to describe it. How it differs from the Packtalk Bold, and also I figure out that I've been installing them wrong all my life. Welcome back to Long Way Home, everyone. The place where getting your motorcycle news is easier than getting Dave to run the in-off dashcam wiring, but not by much. Alright, let's do some range tests, some voice command tests, see how good these new 45mm JBL speakers are, and if Cardo is still on top of the communicator game in 2021. Stick around. As far as technical specs go, the Packtalk Black is identical to the Packtalk Bold. Same range, same battery life, same great wind noise cancelling, but what makes it a special edition is obviously the fact that it's sleek and black, the extra 1 year of warranty, so it now comes with 3 years, the larger 45mm JBL speakers compared to the 40mm on the Bold, and the unfortunate fact that it only comes as a single pack. It's special, alright? The new speakers are not a vast improvement over the 40mm ones, they do however sound better. The soundstage is larger, the bass response is deeper, and that always puts a smile on my face. However, when you're going down the road at 100 km per hour with the wind smacking against your helmet, that return on investment is gonna diminish. As of now, however, in my opinion, they are the best speakers you can get in your helmet, so if you must have the best, these are the ones for you. Cardo claims a 1.6 kilometer range or a 1 mile range in perfect conditions, like on the moon, and a 1 kilometer range in the real world. To help me test this out, I employed the services of the Strange Rider. You might remember his antics from previous videos where he scared some poor tourists about the quality of petrol in Romania.
It shouldn't be that disastrous. Don't worry, it's not that bad. I mean, everything that could be is not to have the full potential, but it couldn't be that bad. Don't worry.
Strange Rider, is that you over there?
I think so, depends what you are seeing, but I hope that you are seeing me.
Is that a new bike under you there?
Not a brand new bike, but it's a new bike for me.
Why did you get the Lady GS?
It's not as fat as yours. Slim version of yours. It's very nice and nimble.
How's that tiny windshield working out for you? Are you getting cold now?
You know what they say about the guys with big windshields.
But they don't get cold when it's cold outside.
That's exactly what they say. How did you know?
Using a third Packtalk connected to an audio recorder, we chose a long stretch of road, I stayed stationary, and the Strange Rider started talking nonsense.
Break 19, you're ready to go.
Okay, take two. Okay, I'm now at 2 kilometers far away from you. I'm at 3, and you still hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear. Hello, am I getting through you? Can you hear me? Who's singing?
500 meters seemed to be the sweet spot of when audio would cut out for both tests we ran, so this is pretty much your usable rider-to-rider range. But this is where the whole mesh magic comes in. You see, with mesh connectivity, you're creating a smart network, which means that the rider which is furthest back can talk to the front rider even if the distance between each other is a lot longer than the intercom's 1-to-1 range. The other magic of mesh networking is that riders are free to change spots as they wish, since the network is a self-healing one, so when you come back in range, you will automatically be reconnected, no need to pair again. So if you usually ride with larger groups, and by larger I mean more than 2, then mesh is pretty much a requirement, otherwise you are going to be doing a lot more pairing of intercoms than actually riding. Voice control, or natural voice as Cardo calls it, is the reason I have no idea what any of these buttons on the device do. All my intercom pairing is done through the app, either join an existing group or create a new one. This is a one-time procedure, the devices will remember each other from then onwards. As far as all my music and phone requirements, just talk to it. Hello? Hey Cardo, battery status.
Battery status 80%.
Hey Cardo, music on.
Music on.
She will never know that I love her so much. She's with somebody else.
Hey Cardo, volume down.
Have to let her go. She will never.
Hey Cardo, volume down. Hey Cardo, volume up. Hey Cardo, radio on.
Radio on. 107.5.
Hey Siri, how are you doing today?
I'm happy to be here.
It's fine. It's just fine. As far as installation goes, it might look like a daunting task, but you'll be done in 10 minutes. Firstly, pick the base plate you're gonna use. If your helmet has a wide lip like mine, then the sticky base plate is the only option. Next up, connect your microphone. If you're using a full-faced helmet, then use the included sticky pads and velcro it in front of your mouth. For modular helmets, use the boom mic, with the mention that you need 2 anchor points on it. One is at the rear of the mic and the second is using this little included bracket. I never used this bracket until now because of reasons, and after a few months of usage, I got flappy mic syndrome. Then install the speakers on each side, taking care that the cable for the right speaker is run across the top of the helmet, since this also doubles as your radio antenna. And that's it, you're done. Easy peasy. Wind noise cancelling. This is a feature which either makes or breaks your entire intercom experience, especially if you're using flip-up helmets. I'm glad to say Cardo still has their algorithm nailed down. The idea of this test was to connect the units in mesh mode, play music on one, stick the mic out the window on the other one and listen to the result. First up was the Senna. The moment the mic went out the window, the music volume lowered and the gracious sound of the wind came through. I tested this at different speeds and it made no difference. In Cardo world, however, the unit did initially send the wind noise through to the other helmet, but after a couple of seconds, it realized that this was not a human voice, but actually wind, stopped sending it through, and the music returned to a normal volume. This brings us over to the fun part of the show, what I don't like about the Packtalk or what Cardo could improve on. Firstly, and this is the biggest problem, the whole magic mesh network is proprietary. Cardo's will only work with other Cardo devices and Senna's own mesh system will only work with other Senna devices. Yes, there are ways of getting a Cardo to connect to a Senna device, but you will lose all the benefits of mesh connectivity, so most people will just give up and revert to using hand signals. Cardo and Senna, you guys are the biggest players in the market when it comes to motorcycle comm systems, and you are making our lives a living hell. All we want to do is just ride our bikes and talk to each other. You know, point out a cat or a hot girl that's crossing the road, not sit and choose ride partners according to their intercom brand. So get together, you don't even have to look at each other if you don't want to, and come up with an open source mesh protocol that all brands which want to implement it can use. And then we'll be happy. Next up, the way firmware updates are handled is still through a PC or a Mac, and that's not the worst part. You actually need an account to download the update tool. There are a lot better ways to handle this. I'm sure you could come up with some sort of way of letting the app download and transfer the firmware updates, or something similar to what Senna did with the Wi-Fi dongle, which also charges your unit. And lastly, there is the old school micro USB port, and I'm not talking here that this thing was invented back in 2007. We don't need speed here. We need toughness and reliability. The Packtalks support charging while riding, and I've used this feature more than a few times because of reasons. The problem comes in when I forget that I'm actually tethered to the bike by a USB cable. I get off and I pull the cable from the unit in a very unnatural motion, followed by a few moments of prayer, hoping I didn't damage the unit itself. USB Type-C might be the answer here, but what would solve this problem indefinitely would be some sort of magnetic USB connector like Apple's MagSafe, so that if we're stupid and pull it out, it's not gonna damage the unit. I guess in conclusion, I would sum up the Packtalk Black as the top of the range motorcycle communicator that you can get today. But if you already have the Packtalk Bold and don't want to shell out top of the range cash for a new communicator, you're just fine with that. The extra audio fidelity of the new speakers doesn't justify upgrading from the Bold, and if you're the more sensible kind and don't care about speaking with a large group of riders and the whole mesh system, Cardo's FreeCom range is the one to go for. Note that the voice controls, however, a feature which I really couldn't live without, are only available on the FreeCom 4 Plus. This is it for me today. Hopefully I've made your decision just a little bit easier. If there's anything else you would like to know that hasn't been covered yet, the comment section below is the place for you. And if you have a Cardo product and want to share something with us, head down there as well. I'd love to read your comments, and I'm sure Cardo would as well. Well, that's the show for today, everybody. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our patrons to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.